Welcome to Walking in the Know, hosted by the MaShiAat Oloya, Queen Mother of the Kemetic spiritual tradition of the kindred of Shayendra, priestess, activist, activator, and community leader. Now, let's join MaShiAat Oloya. I am MaShiAat Oloya, and we welcome you to Walking in the Know. Today we're talking about fear of spirit, what causes us to be afraid of the unknown, what causes us to forget those childhood intuitive movements and actions and understanding. Why is it that we continue to forget what we were instinctually born with? Spirit is a common thing. It's elemental. It's part of who we are and part of every essence in this entire planet. It's more than just the trees. It's more than just the wind. It's more than just the ocean, which have their own spirits that connect with us. But also, even the inanimate objects have a spirit, because everything that touches that object, everything that's living, everything that has breath, imprints onto that object. So your house becomes a spiritual object. It becomes a house of spirit. Your bookshelf that houses all the information that you consistently go and pick off your bookshelf and read and open up and touch, houses the impression of everything that touches it. Therefore, you leave a piece of who you are, your spirit, in that bookshelf. As children, we know that in the dark we see better, we see different than we do in the light. Children understand instinctually that just because there's no light on doesn't mean that the world doesn't move around us. They see and they understand. It is the adults around them, their fears, the adults' fears. It is religion, it is folklore that instills fear into those children and tells them that there's a boogeyman under the bed, or there's something scary in the closet, that the shadows that they see in the dark are actually something that they should be afraid of, or they should forget about, that aren't there. Why do we tell our children that? Why do we grow up from the very beginning being in denial? We'll talk more about that right after this commercial break.
Enrich yourself, mind, body, and spirit with products developed and handmade by the priestesses and priests of the kindred of Shayendra. Wild Seed offers natural, botanical, and spiritual items. Visit us at www.mashiatoloya.com or call us at 510-688-4262. That's www.mashiatoloya.com or call us at 510-688-4262.
Welcome back to Walking in the Know. We were talking about spirit and why we fear spirit so much. And one of the things that comes to mind is a young woman that I was speaking to not too long ago. And she was telling me a little bit about herself. She is from a very spiritual family who is enrolled or wrapped up in Christianity as well. And her grandmother passed without teaching her all the things that her grandmother wanted to know. And her grandmother was from Cuba, I think, but she definitely did follow an ancestral-based tradition. And the young woman grew up very Christian and in a home that embraced Christianity heavily, but did not embrace the ancestral tradition that her grandmother was trying to teach her. Her grandmother passes and makes her transformation. And now the young woman is older, she's an adult, and she's starting to dream. And at first her dreams are very scary to her, very confusing, because everything that she's dreaming about in her traditional religious beliefs, it is said to be wrong, even evil. But she's dreaming about the person that she loved most of all in this world, her grandmother. So how can that be evil? So she seeks different forms of spirituality, trying to understand why her grandmother's communicating, trying to understand if she's going crazy, trying to understand if there is more than she has been told. She seeks counsel from many different forms of divination, from different traditions, and she realizes that yes, she is feeling her grandmother. Not only is she feeling her grandmother, but her grandmother has reminded her, reactivated a piece of DNA in her that is reminding her in her spirit that she actually has abilities, has gifts, that she actually is part of a long line, a long essence of readers. So we're talking about spirit and people being afraid of spirit and why people are afraid of spirit. And you know, something that's very interesting, I was telling you a story about a lady who whose grandmother made her transition, and now the woman is older and her grandmother's coming back to talk to her. And when she was talking to me, the fear of what I might say, she kept asking, was she crazy? And it's interesting. We can sit there and tell our kids to believe in Santa Claus, to believe in the Easter Bunny, to believe in all of these things that aren't true. But when it comes to our ancestors, when it comes to spirit, when it comes to something that we know not only moves in us, lives in us, it's actually what religion is based on, what happens to your spirit when your flesh is gone. We sit there and lie to our kids about these other things, and we don't tell them the truth about what really matters. The transformation of our spiritual self to the next level, the connection between our flesh and our spirit, the understanding that our ancestors are always with us. Not only are they with us in spirit, but they are with us within our spirit. They are part of our DNA. We are all connected. We all are connected through our DNA. We all are connected through our blood, and we all are connected through our breath. Every single day. As I breathe this communication to you, there's a person in China inhaling my breath, inhaling my vibration, therefore inhaling my spirit. Why is that so difficult for people to understand, and why do we consistently lie to ourselves, our children, our neighbors, our very understanding, our very essence, the truth of who we are? Because we're afraid of the truth. We're afraid of who we are. We are afraid to succeed. We are afraid of abundance. We are afraid of failure. We are afraid of dying. We are afraid of living. We are afraid of everything. And that fear causes us not only to lie to ourselves, but to everything around us.